Israeli border police close in on a building in Jenin in the occupied West Bank. An armoured excavator has already punched a hole through a garage door. From within, two men emerge, lifting their tops to demonstrate they're unarmed. The end of what Israel says was an hours-long siege intended to detain suspects wanted for attacking Israeli soldiers. But the men are not detained. First, they're assaulted, then sent back inside, one appearing to hold his stomach. Immediately, the border policeman to the right of the doorway fires at least 3 shots, killing both men. The excavator then brings down the door on top of their bodies, one of which is dragged out. Palestinian Islamic Jihad saying the men were fighter Mahmoud Abdallah and Yusuf Assasa, a field commander. Today, Assasa's brother among those coming to see for themselves the place where the men were killed.
It's a brutal and hideous incident. Any person seeing those videos would be affected. The act was so hideous. Someone who puts his hands up and surrenders can be arrested, but eliminating them in this brutal way is very wrong.
While Israel's national security minister today praised what he called the killing of terrorists, the Justice Ministry has opened a criminal investigation. That, after the officers involved told Israel's army radio that they shot the men because they disobeyed instructions by re-entering the building.
I think what Palestinians witnessed in watching that video is heartbreak. But again, it's also a sense of validation that it was finally documented, because across interviews that I have carried out on the field, there was a repeating narrative of executions happening by the Israeli military against Palestinians, including minors.
The context, a massive surge in Israeli operations in the West Bank. Since October the 7th, 2023, more than 1,000 Palestinians here have been killed by Israeli forces and settlers. And Israeli forces are continuing to act further afield. An overnight raid on the Syrian village of Beit Jinn, close to the Israeli-occupied Golan Heights. Syria says 13 people were killed in what it's calling a criminal attack. Israel says it was targeting militants from the Lebanese group Jamaah Islamiyah, whom it accused of preparing cross-border attacks. 6 Israeli soldiers were injured in the raid. In Damascus, a rally to mark the beginning of last year's uprising that toppled the Assad regime, becoming almost in equal part a march against Israel's increasingly frequent military incursions.